connecting and stop streaming. I want to listen to my own voice. Big delay. An 8-second delay. Hello, my name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist. And it is Sunday night, July 20th. On my last live, I said it was the wrong day. It said it was June. It was July. It is July 20th at 6:36 p.m. And if you're not watching this live and you want to say, Darren, how can I watch you live and submit a question? I believe the correct way to do that is to subscribe and click the notification bell. I know lots of people on YouTube say that, and it's like annoying because like they all say that, but that is the only way to know when I go live. I'm a dad first, right? And I go live when all my dad stuff is done and all my tech stuff is done, and then I have time to go live. So I did do a Honolulu three-day trip last week. Relief pilot, it was fine. There'll be a video about that coming up. The video coming up for this week is Barcelona, and that was my third trip to Barcelona. I go again soon, and I'm changing up the way I do a video because I don't want to get into a rut where I'm always doing the same style of video over and over again. And I was tired of my last video, so my next video is going to be the normal intro, me driving to work, a little bit of a mic scruffle because I'm wearing a different mic in my wife's car. But then once I get into Barcelona, I'm working on a full recreation of going from the gate to the runway, pressing all the buttons on the overhead, all the buttons in the flight deck, explaining what I'm doing, taxiing out to the runway, and taking off. So that will be up on Thursday, pending time to edit all that. Hey, Gavin, Richmond, Virginia. I never did overnight there. I've only been to Richmond, I think, once on the Airbus, actually. Yeah, no, twice. I nodded out there once on Envoy after a cruise, after vacation, and I did an Airbus turn there. I do want to go to Oshkosh. We'll see if I get removed from my trip next weekend. I have 26 minutes of legality. If I go over 26 minutes, Shelby Cooper, what are you doing? No, you're supposed to be at your desk finishing your worksheets. I'm a dad. If I get removed from my next trip, I might go to Oshkosh. Hey, Tyler, Mr. Cameron, Chris O. Tyler doing very well today. Sacramento. OBAP, again, OBAP next month. I'm pretty sure I'm currently working, but I have flown so much that my airline has to remove me from some trips soon. So right now, I'm supposed to go to somewhere when OBAP's going on, but I'm probably gonna be taking off the trip because I'm flown too much. So if I can get off, I'll go to OBAP for even one day if I can. Hey, Luke. Good evening, Mr. Jennings. Almost 1,200 hours. Interviews starting next month. Adele, freaking awesome. I'm gonna ask you more about Adele. Yeah, dude, Adele. Anytime, man. You're killing it. I think Adele, you flew over 1,000 hours in 1 year. 1 freaking year from 0 to 1,000 hours. The man is a beast. So Gavin, the Hawaii trips, it's kind of funny. So Hawaii trips, when people bid for the annual bid month, they go very senior. But a lot of pilots drop them. I think they bid them because they're easy to drop. Some pilots love Hawaii. And I get the allure, right? No passport needed. Almost always good weather. They leave middle of the day, day one. They always come back at 6 in the morning on day 3. So you have the full day 3 off if you can stay awake. The negative for me is it only pays 15 hours and 45 minutes worth of credit. So for 3 days, I'm going to be at work. 3 days, right? Hawaii pays $15.45. London pays 19. Dublin pays 18. Madrid pays 20. Barcelona pays 20 and a half. Venice pays 21. Rome pays 22. Narita pays 25. Incheon pays 28 over the same 3-day period. So you can make twice as much money going to Incheon versus Hawaii. But some people love Hawaii. It does tend to go senior for bidding, but they often are in open time because people drop them. I've now done Hawaii 4 times, twice, well, each one as both relief pilot and pilot flying. I'll never bid it though. How long did ATP last, and how long to get to the majors? Life as Luke. I went to ATP almost 20 years ago. I did it all over the course of a year. It took me 10 years to get to the majors. I love Dublin, Spencer, and I want to go back. Um, I had the chance to go. There was 2 open trips this month, and I thought about it too long. I overthink everything. I tend to plan and plan and plan, and I thought, you know what? I see this Dublin trip. It's great. I'll think about it. Then the next morning, it was gone. It happened twice. So I'm not going this month. And next month, maybe we'll see. Notice you were wearing long sleeves. I do wear long sleeves all year long, and it's because I'm very cold on the flight deck, and it helps protect against the sun as well. I used to wear short sleeves all the time. I'm a long sleeve guy now. Hey, Mr. Arnold, are you going to comment on Air India? I will not. I know nothing. I have zero information about Air India, and I think people that comment on that are pretty, yeah. Do you think pilot training should include observing in an ATC tower? Um, it should be optional. Um, but the thing is, my understanding is from all my ATC friends, every tower is unique, and they all operate differently. Like the way Chicago handles ground is not the way Atlanta handles ground. It's not the way Dallas handles ground. So, eh. And Aaron just got home from flying. Did ILS to Burbank to say my second IFR flight. And my C5 says he's proud of me. Dude, Carlos, Mr. Sarabia. Sarabia, I'm saying it right. Yes. Awesome, man. I've never been to Burbank. Flying 777, but still rocking the Airbus shirt. I do, and I miss my Airbus. So here's a funny story. Coming back from Honolulu, we had a Hawaiian Airbus pilot on my jump seat. She spent a few years at SkyWest, and now she's at Hawaiian. She was going home to see her parents in Oklahoma City, and we both talked about how we miss our Airbus. Well, she mentioned she saw me eat my dinner because I was in the captain's seat at the time, and she's like, "Miss your tray table, huh?" I do miss my tray table. I think this yoke is stupid. Um, but she's an Airbus FO at Hawaiian, loves it. She's renting an apartment in Hawaii right now. But yeah, we talked about the Airbus, and even our backgrounds are kind of similar. We both majored in journalism, and we're both pilots right now. Does Korea go more senior than Hawaii? Korea does go more senior than Hawaii. Because again, some pilots bid for destination. Some pilots bid for, hey, I want the highest credit trip in the least amount of time I can. So going to Korea, they can go to Korea 3 times a month. They work 9 days a month. They get paid about 86 hours of credit for 9 days a month. Call it $26,000 they'll make for working 9 days a month. Or to do that same amount of credit going to Hawaii, you couldn't even do it. You'd have to go 15, 30 to 8. You have to go 8 times. 6 times. 6 times to Hawaii would be about the same amount of credit. Yeah. Which no one want to do that. That's work. Those LAX pilots flying to Sydney must get crazy. Yeah. So that Sydney trip is very senior, and I did my LA turn last week. The captain was very senior in LA, and he mentioned he bids the Sydney trips because he typically gets displaced from it for IOE. Because if you're LA based, you need to get qualified to fly to Sydney, and so new captains get displaced to fly to Sydney, and first officers as well. So if they have a new first officer going into LA on a 777, they need to get qualified to fly to Sydney. And so they'll displace the captain and a first officer to go to Sydney. I'm looking at how much that Sydney trip is worth. I'm looking at the LA flights right now. N3 LA. It's worth 29 hours, I believe. Yeah, it's a 29-hour 3-day trip. And it's kind of a weird, is it 3-day trip? So you leave on the 20th, come back on the 23rd. Actually, it's almost a 4-day trip because you leave on the 20th at 11:55 at night, and you come back on the 23rd at 6 in the morning because you lose a day. Yeah, you lose a day, I believe. Yeah, yeah. So it's a 29-hour, but it's a 4-day trip. Huh. Interesting. Sorry. Da, da, da. I do answer every question. Hey Darren, this is irrelevant, but my son and I always watch Flight Radar 24, and every triple we see, often wonder, could Darren be on that plane? Hey, Mr. Henry, thank you very much. Have you and your son built your little Raspberry Pi ADSB thing? You can get a business account for free on Flight Radar 24. If not, Google Flight Radar 24 Raspberry Pi. It's a fun project for you and your son to build. It might cost you $50 in parts, probably less than that, and you can have your own little receiver for Flight Radar 24. Have you been in London since your last stream? I have not, and I'm not going to London. I probably need to go one time next month because my Android phone is a London-based account, and I need to go there at least once, I guess, a month to say, hey, I'm here. How hard is it to get a job other than CFI to build hours? Adam, it's very hard, and here's the reason why. When you first get your first commercial rating, you have about 250 hours. No one trusts you. It's like being a 16-year-old kid. My kid turns 16 next year. I'm not going to hand her the keys to my Rivian and say, all right, you have a license. Go have fun. Absolutely not. Because she needs experience. How does she get experience? By driving. She's not driving my Rivian. So I'm going to have to get a smaller car, a less powerful car, a less expensive car for her, and I'll drive around with her to let her get experience. Now, problem is when you're a new pilot, they want it, airlines, it's all about cost, right? But you have no experience. Why should I trust you to go fly my multi-$100,000 aircraft with people on board or boxes on board? How do I know you're not going to have an accident or incident? Plus, insurance companies are like, you're not going to hire some young 250-hour pilot to go fly this airplane by themselves. So getting that first job is very difficult as a low-time pilot. I'm not saying it's impossible, because it absolutely is. But you can't just go on a computer, find me a job, and apply and wait and get hired. You're probably going to have to do a lot of legwork. This is where job fairs and airline conventions come in, or aviation conventions come in, like the OBAP convention coming up in less than 3 weeks from now. Even if you have 0 hours, if you have never touched an airplane, if you are this son or daughter or parent of a kid that wants to learn how to fly, wants maybe even a little interest in being a pilot or an aviation career, go to an aviation convention. If you live in the Pacific Northwest, go for a day. Go to OBAP for 1 day. You probably want to go for 2, but go at least for 1. You can listen to some awesome speakers, and you can walk around the job fair and see all these aviation jobs you might never even heard of. Because maybe they don't want to fly. There's so many other jobs in aviation that they've never even heard of. Or if you are a low-time pilot, there are airlines out there and aviation companies out there that are looking for pilots, and you can say, hey, I'm at 30 hours working my private, but I want to work for your company. What do I need to do to be a good candidate for you guys to hire me? What kind of candidates are you looking for? And again, you're making a contact. You're talking to the actual people that do the hiring, and you can make yourself more valuable and get those skills you need to be hired by them or someone else like them in the future. I hope that helps you. I got tattoos. Looks like a long sleeve in my future. Yes. I know you've probably already mentioned it before, but have you AirVenture? I've never been to AirVenture. I've only been to Sun and Fun. I do hope to go. My local time is 6:50 p.m. right now. How many pilots do these 17+ hour flights have? Sydney, they have 4 pilots, one captain and 3 first officers. I think when they come back from India, New Delhi, they have an alternate means of compliance because it is like over a 17-hour flight. But I'm not sure how that works. Hey, Darren, I had 3 questions off of my. I was 3 questions off of my written exam. Got to retake it soon. Looking forward to be a flight attendant soon. Hey, thank you for your support. Yeah, and thank you for your support. Good evening, Mr. Rumsey. My first flight in 2 weeks, too, because I was on a nice trip. Hey, Darren. It's been a while. I DM'd you on Insta a few months ago, but I got my commercial instrument rating, commercial single engine, and multi Starting my sleep by tomorrow. Thanks for being a huge influence on me in the past 4 years. Mr. Bell, dude, knocking it out of the park. You're almost, the light is, you can see the light in the tunnel. The tunnel's way over there, and you can see the light. You're almost to the end. What's your plans for the next stage? Hey, Darren, how do airlines decide which of all pilots from the narrow-body fleet will be eligible to move on to the heavies? Is it decided based on flight hours, seniority, or some aptitude test? Mr. Roy, it's all seniority. Pure seniority. Keyboard trips me out. Oh, yeah. And I keep meaning to come up here and get this computer more set up. It's my old gaming computer and it has so much crap on there. So an age limit on when someone can become a pilot? 64 and a half, I guess, to be an airline pilot. If you pick up a high credit trip and lose landing currency, do you still get paid for the trip? Yes. Can you pick up trips on your days off from other bases? I can. I am not likely to because, like, again, I do want to go to Sydney, Australia. I could put a bid in to go to Sydney, pick up a Sydney trip, at least at 10:55 at night. So I would have to commute to LA, and the safe and proper way to do that would be, I want to go, say that I picked up a Sydney trip tomorrow night. I would then commute to LA tomorrow morning, buy a day room in a hotel at my own expense, sleep and rest, go to the airport, fly to Sydney. Now, the return flight comes back early in the morning, so it gets back to LA on day 4 at 6 in the morning, and then I can just commute home. Now, I could, and I wouldn't, but commute in tomorrow evening to LA and then fly to Sydney, but I don't think that's a safe idea for me. What are your personal methods for getting to sleep on break when you're not tired? I make myself tired. I have this whole system. So, like, on my next trip to Barcelona, I'll be the FO. I could be the flying pilot there or on the way back. But either way, I'll be taking either the second or third break. And the second break goes on break around 9 o'clock at night. Third break goes to break around midnight. My normal bedtime is 10 o'clock at night. So even on a normal work day, I'm going to Barcelona, I can go to bed pretty easy. But like say I went to Honolulu last week. Well, the flight there was at 11 in the morning. I was a relief pilot. I had to go on break at like 11:30 in the morning. There's no way I'm going to sleep at noon. And I didn't sleep because it's a daytime flight there. It's fine. On the way back, though, I went to bed. So I got to Honolulu. I went out for a bit, looked at the nature's toilet, looked at the beach, got dinner, and I went to bed at 6 p.m. Hawaii time, which is 11 p.m. Dallas time. I was exhausted. I then woke up at 1:30 in the morning Hawaii time. But that was 6:30 a.m. Dallas time, right? And I'm like, that's it, I'm up. So I was up at 1:30 in the morning in Hawaii. I edited a video, played some Nintendo Switch, watched YouTube, and then when the sun came up, I went for a walk down the beach, looked at nature's toilet, looked at the sand, walked around, came back to the hotel, edited some more video, got lunch, and went to bed again at 10 in the morning Hawaii time to have a nap before my 5 p.m. departure, which is 10:30 at night. So I always look forward, and yeah, I'm good at making myself tired by exercise and watching my caffeine intake. Good night, sir. Hope all is well. Had a great day on the beach here in Fort Lauderdale. Awesome. Is water pill life-changing? I love your content. The water pill I'm taking, this is for blood pressure, it helps a little bit. My blood pressure is just mildly high. I'm like pre-hypertension, or I was anyway. Can you go beyond 180 ETOPS for Sydney? They have a different ETOPS for Sydney on the 300. I don't know how exactly it works. Are all of them done?
No, I'm just asking.
Okay, come here. I'm also a dad, and I'm giving her worksheets to do, because that's the kind of dad I am. What?
I don't know what this means.
Body of water. Ocean.
Oh.
Thinking of going to the Latino pilot event in Orlando, would you say, yes, Mr. Sorbia, it's absolutely worth it. Yes, please go to the Latin Pilot Association. Again, if I can arrange it, I will go to every single airline convention just to show you guys what it's like. DTW Brisbane is on a 787. I can't fly that one. Hi, Mr. Bradshaw. Hey, good evening, sir. Recognize the name, of course. Getting my suit ready for OBAP? Yes. Interview prep for your mainline interview. I did, Gavin. I used a company I won't mention because I don't care for them anymore. Right now, I recommend Spitfire Aviation Consulting. Speaking of OBAP and the airline I work for, yeah, a young woman I've been helping out for the last 4 years. Her name is Emily. She met me on TikTok. Yada yada. She wanted to be a pilot. I've assisted her. She did all the work. I've just been in the corner answering questions for her, and it's been very rewarding watching her succeed. She's currently a captain on the CRJ, and for a company up in Chicago, and she signed up to do a meet and greet with the airline I work for, and got an invite. She has an interview opportunity to work where I work, and she's only been flying for 4 years. Yes, Shelby. Okay, bring it here. Just one worksheet or all four?
All four. The other one is downstairs.
Okay, let me see. Go get the other one. 1 second, I had to check my kids' summer homework because I'm that kind of dad that gives homework over summer. Brief pause. She didn't answer one question. One day Shelby and tried to go to Barcelona summer vacation. Shelby grabbed a goat. Red Allison thought they would start a fire, but Shelby thought it was very wild on vacation to swim. Shelby exclaimed while on the journey. Allison becoming a tree. It scared Shelby. It was time for a snack, so Shelby accepted to eat ice cream and chicken and drink Sprite. Summertime is a cool experience, and Shelby and Allison make the most of it after a quick nap in the ocean. Time to go home. It's been another great summer. Well, okay. What's the other what worksheet?
I can't find it.
Oh, you gotta go find it. And you didn't answer this one. 18 plus 7.
Oh, I put it on your couch, but I can't find
Well, you gotta find it. PPL check ride scheduled for August 15th. I feel good in my flying ability, but worried about the oral section. Struggle with oral already. My thoughts. Any tips? Yeah, Adam. It's sounding kind of weird, but go to a public place like a mall food court and make note cards for yourself and read a question and talk to no one. And people are gonna think you're weird, but that social stigma of people like, why is this guy reading a note card and just talking to himself? Or even if it make it less weird, put your phone on a stand and videotape yourself reading questions and answering questions, because you'll be physically uncomfortable, you'll be nervous, but by practicing that, you'll be maybe a little bit less nervous. That works for me, especially with my stuttering. 4, 8:30, 2 o'clock. That's 10:45, 7:15. That one's wrong, but that's fine. All right. You're done for the day. Darren, hey, for long haul North America to Asia, do a lot of delays or delays possible divert, basically mean the flight gets canceled unless it gets diverted to the hub because of working rules. Mr. Sylvester, it depends. A lot of flights are, I mean, a duty day is a duty day. It's a duty day is a duty day. So if the flight crew gets to the airport and there is a weather delay, there's a chance the flight get delayed. It really never cancels. It just has to be recrewed, right? Sometimes we can extend our duty day. Sometimes we can't. But the airlines have reserves for those situations. They don't like to have delays. Many times they have slack built into the system. So if the plane from Dallas to Incheon leaves at 11, they want the inbound plane that they're using, probably maybe the Hawaii plane that gets in at 6 in the morning, so that they have 5 hours of hands on the airplane to make sure it's ready to go. Or if the plane from Hawaii runs late, gets there at 8, they still have 3 hours of hands on the airplane to get the plane ready to go. But they can't control the weather. So if there's a thunderstorm moving in, there's nothing they can do. They can't make duty days, that's fine. They can't make duty days suddenly be longer. So if they see it's going to be an issue, they can say, okay, let's call the reserves in. But even then, it takes 3 to 4 hours to get the aircraft fully restaffed, because they might have flight attendants on reserve at the airport, but not pilots, because that's not how the airline operates. But even getting a full set of flight attendants, including the speaker that speaks Korean, could take some time. Do you prefer wide bodies? Asking for a single friend of mine. I do prefer wide bodies right now. It's super easy work. It's super easy work. Are you all at all worried about any long-term health impacts from time zone changes and sleep disturbances flying long haul? Mr. Cornell, I was initially, but uh, I've gotten really good at sleeping. Like I can, if I know when I go to work on a trip, I'm very good at getting rest. I wasn't always, but I've developed habits, mostly exercise and watching my diet. So I don't eat a lot of sugar and don't eat a lot and take in a lot of caffeine at the wrong times to make sure I get proper rest. But again, it is it is what it is, right? I mean, leaving Europe, we're getting up when I should be sleeping. The first flight back from London, our van time is like 10 in the 10 p.m. hour, 10 p.m. Dallas time, and then I'm flying all night long, getting in Dallas around noon. So, hey from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Nature's soil is crazy. Oh, I'm way behind. Hey Darren, are you interested to see how Terminal F is going to work with no baggage and security check-in? Billy John, they changed that. There is baggage and security and drive up now. If you're based in LA, can you pick up out of John Wayne or Ontario often, or is it more rare? I think those trips go more local people, but they have John Wayne and Ontario flights on both aircraft. I think more the locals like that than the commuters. Spotted the Fairlife shakes in your last video. Those things are the best. They are the best. 8 for a 4-day trip. It is easy, right? I need to buy some more of those. Darren, have you thought of switching to 787? Your 737 colleague Garrett is switching to 787 in Newark at home base. I can't hold 787 in Dallas, so I won't do it. Favorite aviation movie? Favorite aviation movie? Probably Flight with Denzel Washington, because it exposes lots of issues pilots have, and they're real. Or la 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 la. That's probably Flight. Yeah. Can I go to Latin event if I'm not Latin? Adam G, absolutely. So many of the aviation conventions are sponsored by a group of underrepresented people in aviation, keeping it simple. So there's Latin pilots, Pacific Island pilots, women in aviation, the Black aerospace professionals. So anyone can go though. I have when I go to OBAP, there's a whole lot of people that aren't black there, and it's fine. You don't ever have to check a box that you're black. You can just go, and they welcome you. Absolutely. Do a lot of pilots wear sunscreen? I wear sunscreen. I never flown a 766. Do I like 767? I think it's a neat plane, and I've only been on the flight deck one time. Hey, Darren, I passed the double odd ride with flying colors on my CFI job in Boston, be relocating in the middle of August. Hey, Tyler, Charlotte, knuckles to you. It's cold there. It snows there. And my friend is an ATC controller up in the tower in Boston, at Boston Airport. It would be amazing to beat the flow, but I'm not getting my hopes up too much, so I upgrade here. You don't have to be. Gavin, I have talked to many people I work with at my airline that got hired from the right Stephen RJ in the last 4 years. It's how you present yourself and who you know. And me is not someone that helps you because I don't know anyone. I'm no one here. Hey Darren, can you tell the seniority difference between bases? There's another pilot for your airline in New York, 4 years, and there's 62% for 787. Hey, yeah, you know what, Brandon? I'd be 50% in Miami on the 777. New York is very junior. New York is very junior, and at every airline. Why? Because it's expensive to live in New York. So generally speaking, the more expensive it is to be in a city, the part of it is how much it costs to live in a city, and just how desirable it is to live in that city, right? So New York and LA tend to be the most junior bases at every airline. I'm gonna look up where I would be on the 787 in New York. I'm logging into my union website real quick. And for August, it's called LaGuardia because it just is. LaGuardia 787 FO, I would be 40%. 40%. On the 777 in LaGuardia, but really JFK, I'd be 89%. So there you go. Why? Because that's how it works. It's inspiring to see how you balance your priorities. You're a great example. Thank you, Mr. Neal. Good evening, sir. Best seat on a 777-300ER for engine views. I have no idea. You know what's funny though? I have no idea. I can't tell you that. But what was I? I headed to LA and I was in coach, and I was in premium economy, but I was sitting down and I went to use the restroom and I realized I have not turned right to go down to like economy on a 777 in a long time. Hey Darren. You are such an intelligent person and you have such great upbringing. Your parents have raised you well, and your parents' parents have raised them well. Would you have accepted nature's toilet as the answer if your daughter voted in a body of water? I would. She likes nature's toilet though. Hey Darren, thank you. Good evening, Darren. Hey, hello, Darren. Not sure you ever mentioned this, but how did you pay for your flight training? We got a loan. My wife and I were older. At the time I was 29. My wife was 27. We had already bought a house. So we bought our first house in 2003 before we even got married. That's how we are. And I started flight training in 2006. So we already had a house. We had good careers. We had decent, not great money. We made like $40,000 each in 2004. But that was enough, and we had enough saved to get a small loan. Well, I say small. It was $70,000. I got a loan to pay for ATP back then. We paid it back in about 3 years. Oshkosh, we'll see. How long until you were able to fly the 777? I waited till I could hold it in Dallas. I didn't look anywhere else. It took 6 years to hold it in Dallas. I could have done it sooner elsewhere. I don't commute for an airplane. I have arrived, no fear. Evening, Mr. Mueller. Hey, Darren, I'm glad I caught alive. 2 questions. If you have a diversion and then go to your original destination, does it count as 2 landings? It does. Every time the plane touches the ground. Yep. And speaking of diversions, it can get sticky. Many years ago, we went on a vacation in Liberia, Costa Rica. It was a 737 that went there and back. The same crew flew from Dallas to Liberia, Liberia back to Dallas. It's about 3 hours and 40 minutes each way. Meaning, they flew down there, picked us up, flew back. Weather in Dallas, we had to hold. They had to divert to Houston Hobby. They timed out. Hey Darren, I am scheduled. Hey Darren, I've been watching your videos for a very long time. Great content. Finally had my PPL check ride on Thursday. Hey, Nick, Garib. First, thank you for your support. Thursday, between now and then, there's at least 3 questions in your head you haven't asked your CFI yet. Ask your CFI every question. And when you go to bed tonight, you'll be like, oh, it's a question. Open up your iPhone and make a note on your notes app. Text your CFI, email your CFI, email yourself. Ask every question. I don't care how dumb you think the question is, ask it. The worst feeling in the world is getting to your oral for your private pilot and then failing because you couldn't answer the question that you didn't ask. Also, on your check ride day, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make some stupid mistake you have never made before. You're going to be taken off. And they'll say turn left downwind, and you'll turn left downwind. And then they'll say report midfield left downwind, and you'll be midfield left downwind. And you'll say, okay, I'm midfield right downwind. And you know you're left, but you said right, and it's fine. I have never had a perfect check ride. When you make a mistake on a check ride, it's very difficult to do. You have to learn to brush it off and keep flying. Because if you fly around and think, oh my God, I said left down, I said right downwind, I meant left. Oh man, I said right, I meant left. And you're gonna screw up more. It's hard, but you have to brush it off and keep going. As long as the plane is flying, as long as you're flying that plane, you're still on the fight. And sometimes the examiner doesn't even see your mistake. Good luck to you, sir, and I hope to give you a knuckle here soon. Not punch you, knuckles. Not yours. Hey, Darren, I'm scheduled for, hold on, for my check ride on the 15th for my instrument rating. Want to say congrats on your weight loss journey. Currently at the process of doing the same thing at my goal is the airlines. Awesome. Thank you very much. And good luck to your check ride on the 15th, your instrument rating. My tip to you for the instrument rating is if your MDA is 900 feet, go down to 910 feet. Add a little nose up trim, however you do it. so that you have to add a little, not a lot, a little nose down pressure to get down to 900 feet. That way, you're under that foggles and you're nervous. If you get nervous and you relax a little bit, you climb up a little bit and you'll catch it. Versus if you go and it trim it out perfectly at 900 feet and you get nervous and you sink down to 890 feet, you bust and you might not notice it. Appreciate all your efforts to show the transparency of the industry. It opened up my eyes to a lot of things to hopefully come in this career I'm choosing. Hey, thank you very much. Again, I try to give it tell it like it is. I can't tell you everything because some things are secret and security stuff and airline proprietary stuff, but I tell you as much as I can, and I try to never sensationalize. And I know I could have way more views and way more subscribers if I did the whole, I made $1 million sitting in this plane doing nothing. But that's stupid. Is your airline buying the 777X? I don't think they are. I have no idea though. No connections is used in the aviation. And I'm a little worried that I won't be able to find a job for a long time when I get my CFI, even after hours required, but not yours, you can. Airline conventions, aviation conventions. They're all around the country. And if you live in Idaho and the nearest one is up in Washington State, man, road trip, get you and C5 buddies, split the gas, get a cheap room at La Quinta, and go. Also, what's your best advice to network? There it is. I don't care if you have no time. If you're within an 8-hour drive of an aviation convention, go to it. Get a La Quinta, go to it. If you can't, Darren, I can't afford it. Volunteers get in free. Volunteers get in free. Volunteer for the event. They will give you time off to walk around and see stuff. So Chicago, fairly middle of the road based in. It is. Live 2 hours south, so that would be a great base for me. Yeah, and 2 hours south is easy driving, right? Let's snow. What happens if you get sick on an overnight? Good question. I'm sick. I'm human, right? So if I go to Barcelona and I go out for dinner, get some awesome paella, and the next morning I can't leave the restroom, I call in sick. The flight gets delayed. No repercussions. Have you ever accidentally squawked one of the bad numbers? No, but I'm very cautious. When we go into Shanwick airspace, going to London, they typically give us these weird squawk numbers, and it's easy because we squawk 2,000 over the pond, and they might give us squawk 7655. If we're already squawking 2,000, and I start from the left and put in 76, then I'm squawking 7600. So I will start backwards. I'll do 5567. I'll do it backwards. I'll tune the numbers in backwards. What is your favorite airport that you've been to? Fargo, North Dakota. I like New Orleans New Airport as well. And Incheon is pretty neat. I'm not kidding about Fargo. What's your thanks for the advice. Hopefully on Thursday I'll be telling you a pass. Hopefully you will, Mr. Garib. You need 1,500 hours of flying to get hired to a major airline. If you're the average person, yes. Not yours, you're very welcome. Hey Darren, it was great meeting you outside the employee bus. Yes, Steph, that was very funny. Steph saw me coming back in from Honolulu. I just happened to park in Terminal A. I don't ever park in Terminal A, but because I went to Honolulu, I knew I was going to be coming back to Terminal A, so I parked there. And so I was literally walking on the bus, half awake, and he was walking off the bus. Wish you the best. Have an amazing personality online as well as you in person. You are the best. Hey, Luis. I am the same person. If you ever meet me in public and I'm not exhausted, I am the exact same person. I talk a little slower in person, I think. I saw that a U.S. airline flew a variant of 787 to Venice. It was too big to land. It diverted to Rome. How could that happen? How did the airline get people to Venice? It happened because there was an equipment substitution, and I have no idea how they got to Venice. I read that no carrier is planning on a 777X variant because it's too big. I believe that as well. I think this 777X9 is what they want, or 8. Yeah, will be interesting. Slow at 47 hours. Next up, PPL check ride. Hey, Mr. Herrick. Mr. Herrick. Crazy. Mr. Herrick and I, was it like a year ago, hanging out in London together. Work for the same airline. Now he's going to work to be up front with me one day. In Phoenix, no less. What are the benefits of flying for a major U.S. cargo carrier versus a major passenger airline? So, It used to be people said boxes don't complain. Boxes are stable because boxes don't complain about the price to go from Dallas to New York, right? Because they have to go. Boxes have to go. Um, that was before Amazon. 15 years ago, there was no Amazon Air. 15 years ago, even, yeah, 10 years ago, when I ordered my silly Apple Wallet thingy off Amazon, well, Amazon would put it in a box and give it to a UPS truck, and that UPS truck would drive it to the airport, put it on a UPS plane, and then go on a UPS truck and then bring it to my house. Nowadays, I buy this little wallet thing for my iPhone. Well, Amazon puts it in the box, puts it on an Amazon truck, goes onto an Amazon plane to the Amazon truck to my house. So Amazon really has really changed the cargo industry, and Amazon sells extra space in their airplanes to other pieces of cargo as well. So they've really changed the cargo landscape. But flying for cargo, it's fine. It's not the same job it was 10, 15 years ago, though. But I know very little about it. I have friends that do cargo. I have friends that do cargo and have contacted me about getting a job where I work. So there's that. No, these aren't Southwest Airlines seats because there's only 2 of them. I believe they came off a DC-9. I have a set of 2 and a set of 3. How busy is Orlando? I'm shocked they aren't a major hub. Orlando's very busy. Very busy. They are a hub. I think United has a hub. No, it's Tampa. No, I think United has a hub in Tampa and Orlando now. JetBlue has a hub there. Should I get a water pill if I feel bloated every meal, keeping up the good content? Oh, Mr. Masari, I can't give you any medical content or advice. You have to see a doctor. Have you flown with any other YouTubers? I have not. Nope. I think that your trip to Honolulu was one of the ones that you meet with many of your followers. I was one of the ones to the terminal that day. Yeah. Wait. There were 2 trips to Honolulu. So Luis, I met you when I non-repped to Honolulu, and then I met the other Sherpa when I came back from a trip from Honolulu. So I went to Honolulu twice in the last 3 weeks. Hey, Mr. Bystrom. Captain, your favorite airport in the U.S. is Charlotte? Absolutely not. I'm an FO at PSA based here. I despise it, and it's my hometown. Anfield, I hope one day you can make enough money, you can get out of there and never look back. Heads Carolina, tails California, but get a double-tailed coin to go to California and go west and never see Charlotte again. I haven't flown into the Charlotte airport in over a year, and somehow I think my weight loss is because I haven't been to Charlotte. Maybe it's coincidence, but my last time going to Charlotte was February of 2024. Since then, I've lost 80 pounds. I'm just saying. My last flight to Charlotte was in February 2024, and since then, I have lost 80 pounds. Is that your jet behind you? It is a green screen behind me. It's just a green screen. Just finished IOE on Airbus 320. I flew to St. Martin yesterday. It was awesome. Dude, jealous. I haven't been to St. Martin in a long time. I love St. Martin. What's your armrest code? I'm a G7. United doesn't have a hub anywhere in Florida. Giant maintenance. No. United they have a pilot base. They have a pilot. They started. I remember seeing it. They have a Tampa pilot base since January of 2024. They have a Tampa pilot base. They absolutely do. And yeah, they do. I remember it being a big deal. Sorry. I gotta look it up real quick. Legacy, United. Yeah, Orlando and Tampa. They have Orlando and Tampa bases. What is the most confusing approach plate you've ever briefed? Lots of ones in Europe can be confusing. Can't think of it. Not confusing. There's a lot of gotchas. Nothing on top of my head though. Do you miss your TikTok community? I do miss my TikTok community. And I would love to do a live with Adam and Morgan again. I'm sorry, Ben and Morgan again. Yeah. What is kind of neat though is a lot of us are in a WhatsApp group together. So I'm in a WhatsApp um, chat with, hold on, Morgan, Ben, Kelsey, Rob, Christopher, and Andrea. If you know who all people are. You plan on staying in Dallas? Yes, I'm not moving anywhere. You went to Charlotte after Sun and Fun? I did. Well, I went to Charlotte though, but I didn't fly in there, and I felt dirty. I did go to Charlotte after Sun and Fun for like 45 minutes. I didn't fly in there. The only good thing about Charlotte is the shoe shine. It is. I was 128 pounds before I joined flight school. I lost the weight. Now I'm down to 190. Dude, awesome, Mr. Masari. Darren is ruthless with Charlotte, and looking at the taxi diagram, I understand why. It is a horrible place. How's your August roster come out yet? So Mr. Ato, Daniel Ato, I believe it's Mr. Ato. I haven't been able to trip trade yet. Trip trading opens on Tuesday. So Tuesday at 10 a.m. I'll be at my computer. Plus, I'm probably gonna be illegal for my first 2 flights because my first 2 trips because I've been flying a lot. Darren, don't say you're a no. I'm a G7. I'm a G7 on my Airbus. G7 on my Airbus armrest. Down to 70 pounds. My armrest setting has. Oh, you think it changed? Oh wow. I might have to go change it again. Check it next time. So nightmare scenario would be for you to be forced to do Dallas to London to Charlotte to London. Yes, it would be. I got assigned one Charlotte trip so far on a 777, and I got out of it. Ever got a Brasher warning? I don't know what a Brasher warning is. Brasher warning known as pilot who may have deviated from their sign altitude. I got one. And you know what? It'd be a quick story time. Like 14 years ago, I was flying Fort Hood to Dallas on the Cedar 700, and at Fort Hood, Killeen, Texas, you call approach on the radio to get your clearance. It was a scratchy radio. They read back to me, climb and maintain 13,000. I read back, climb maintain 13,000. We took off, climbed up, checked in, and I said, Eagle flight, blah 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 blah. 7,000 for 13,000. Said radar contact. Climb to 13,000. Eagle, what was your sign altitude? 13,000. Negative. You were told to climb maintain 11,000. Sir, I read back 13,000 to the controller. They said read back correct. I checked in with you. I said climbing to 13,000. You said radar contact. So I don't know what else to tell you. I did an ASAP, and nothing ever came out of it. Where do you get all the procedures for an airport that you've never flown into before? My airline gives, on my EFB, I have all the jet plates and all the procedures, right? For every airport we can ever fly into. Plus, my airline has special tailored pages that we can go to, kind of like a cheat sheet. It says, hey, coming in here, you're probably going to get this, and watch out for this, and this, and this. Almost done with the live, because I've been live for 48 minutes and my throat's going dry. What happens if you're illegal for your flights that you're scheduled for? Do you get credit? I do get credit. So as long as I can physically fly both of them. Very quick example. I gotta look at a calendar because I'm not that intelligent. Let's pretend let's pretend to have a trip from July 30th to August 1st. Then I was given another trip August 1st to August 3rd. I get in for my first trip at 7 o'clock at night. My second trip starts on August 1st at 3 in the afternoon. I can't physically fly both trips, can I? No. I'd be removed from one and not paid for the other one because I couldn't physically fly it. Another example. I have a trip from July 30th to August 1st. I have another trip August 2nd through August 4th. Back-to-back trips. That second trip, let's say I'm now going to be over the 100-hour rule. I could physically fly that trip, but I can't legally fly the trip. So they'll pull me off that second trip and still pay me for it. That's the difference. HEB or Kroger? Well, we don't have HEB near my house, so I am a Aldi, then Kroger person, but an HEB is coming about 4 miles from my house. That would be an HEB person then. How many years do you think before you can become captain on the Airbus? I can be a captain on the Airbus right now. But if I was a captain on the Airbus, I'd be very junior in Dallas. I don't care about anywhere else. I'm not commuting for an airplane or a spot ever. But right now, if I was a captain on the Airbus in Dallas, I'd be 78%, and that would still be hardcore reserve, and I have zero desire to be a reserve captain on the Airbus. It's not something for me. So, with my family. How do you see? Hope you see LBAP. I hope to be there. Hey Darren, I got my first med cert appointment on Wednesday in the DFW area. I'm feeling unconfident because I have a color deficiency. My wife says it's not that bad, but I'm feeling the Wagner. Like, you know what? Hopefully you're not. I mean, there you can get a SOTA, a statement of demonstrated ability. It's not a deal breaker anymore. It's not a deal breaker anymore. You'll be fine. What would be the next steps? So I don't know what the next steps are, Mr. Hanley, because I have never been in that situation. But a competent medical examiner can get you on the right course. I wonder if some pilots play game later load front some months intentionally. Mr. Rickstein, they do. Pilots spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to work less and get paid more. We spend it in an order. I was given a cheat sheet on how to do just that. I'm not senior enough to do it yet, but there's ways to do that. Yeah, pilots work a lot in their heads to work less in the airplane, and I love flying. I love flying an airplane. I love packing my suitcase, going to the airport, and flying this giant machine across an ocean, and knowing that I'm part of 272 people in the back. I'm part of their story. I'm the unaccredited actor in their vacation or wherever they're going, right? I love being part of that. But I also like being paid to not have to work. And the longer I do this career, the more I like to get paid and not have to work so hard. And that's why I'm currently on the 777. I got to fly to Hawaii, and all I had to do was show up at the airport. I pre-flighted the flight deck. I pre-flighted the outside of the airplane. I made one bed because the other pilot didn't want to make the bed, and I got in the seat. And then I watched the pilots take off, and I went to the back and I watched YouTube for a couple hours in a nice first class seat. Then I went up and sat in the captain's seat and had a nice free meal. Then I talked this FO for a couple hours. Then I sat in his seat for a couple hours, and then talked to the captain for a couple hours. Then I had another meal. I didn't eat it though. I could have had another meal. And then I went and sat in the back of the flight deck and watched them land and went to the hotel. And then I had a 26-hour overnight in Hawaii. And did the same thing all over again. It's a pretty easy gig. Is it time to overtime for pilots if you want it? Yes, there is. Is a cheat sheet something that you would share? I mean, I could, but I can't share it with you guys because it has airline proprietary stuff on it, and I can't ever do that. So, and unions are, and that'll be my last question or statement about unions. Unions are a double-edged sword. Unions can help you, but they also help people that if you've ever had a job, you've worked with people that should not be working where you work, but for whatever reason they can't get fired or can't go away. That's everywhere, and unions protect the good and help the good, but they also protect the schmucks. There's not very many. There's always a 1% of schmucky people in the world, no matter where you go. There's always a schmuck. As someone that just makes the job harder and makes it unpleasant. And I've known pilots that at various airlines that have been schmucks. The airline fired them because they're schmucks, and the union gets your job back because that's what unions do. So with that, I'll be done. My name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist. I go live randomly. It's truly random. So if you're watching a retake of this, or you missed the first part of this and you want to watch it live, again, the best thing I can tell you is subscribe and click the notification bell. I typically do go live around 6 o'clock Dallas time. So I appreciate your support. Have a great day. And as always, thank you for stopping by. Now I have to find my mouse and click stop. I'm not that